Entering the Flex Zone today, I'll be interviewing an individual that has his hands in everything. Fighter? Check. Author? Check. Clothing designer? Check. Movie maker? Check. Entrepreneur? No doubt about it. My guest today is one of the most determined people I have ever met and is a positive role model for anyone trying to achieve their dreams and rise to the top. Chaz Dowdell. You've entered the Flex Zone. Chaz, how's it going?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Enter the Flex Zone is starting to take shape, and I'm really excited about what's to come here in 2018. You've had your hands in many things, and it's always amazed me by watching your post on social media or Twitter, whatever it is, seeing all the things that you've got yourself involved in. I remember you from the MMA days. Is that where it all began?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would say all the new stuff has originated from, MMA. Yeah, that's definitely from the MMA days. Everything started to, climb and connect on those times.
Now, you talk about the MMA days. Were you watching it on TV? You just like to get in fights out on the side of the schoolyard? What was going on?
Actually, how I got into MMA was I was actually doing a football training camp for the Pittsburgh Powers. And I think they put my name at the bottom of the training camp list. Pretty much I wasn't going to make it. So I think December 2011 or 2012, I seen the article of John Jones and just pretty much of him being like the youngest light heavyweight champion of the world. And I was just like, wow, he's like 23. And I think he did like 6 fights in like 3 months or something like that. And I just looked at his stature. He was about 6'4", 84 and a half reach. And I was about 6'5". And I was like, if he could do it, well, I definitely could do it. He was a wrestler and I was a football player. I got the toughness, so why not? The next month, I had my first fight.
And you had a couple of fights after that as well. And you also were in the squared circle as a boxer. As you went on through all that experience, what did you learn as far as being a fighter and how that could translate into other business endeavors?
Well, as a fighter, we kind of, I think a lot of fighters, go down this route where you find a gym and then you start training there and then you kind of like paying your dues by, helping out. And so I did that a little bit here in Pittsburgh when I was there. And then I went to Atlanta and that's where I had met Clint Hester. And he's now one of my business partners and personal best friend, brother.
How is Clint doing, by the way? What is he up to?
He's actually good. He has a kid now.
Okay.
And he's actually doing really good. He's actually training to get back into the ring right now, but he's been doing a lot of music on the side and help the company out on the music side too.
Everybody has a nickname, right? Every fighter has a nickname. Some don't. Some want to be anointed nickname, which is rightfully so. Who gave you your nickname, the Gladiator?
Oh, the Gladiator. I had picked that nickname right before my first fight. The Gladiator. I had picked it probably like a week or two before my first fight.
Are you still actively searching for fights, or are you just have moved on from that area? What's going on?
Oh, no, I am. Right now, I've just been focused on, I had a fight in July, and I had a little medical suspension, just like a technical knockout, but it's not.
That was in boxing. Am I correct on that? Yeah.
But I'm still, looking for fights because I'm actually trying to branch out into like the boxing and kickboxing and the Muay Thai world too.
Right.
So, because I'm only going, I think doing about 4 more MMA fights and retiring pretty much. Just want to be able to have like 40 fights total and and 4 more MMA fights would be 10, and I'll have like 10 Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, kind of even it out.
What did you feel like the first time you entered into the cage? Actually,
it was nothing. A lot of people, when they first saw me fight, they didn't actually believe that was my first fight. I guess I was really confident and I was kind of fearless. But honestly, I just came back off the football training camp. So I still kind of just like, well, it's not a big deal. I don't see anything different. I felt really kind of good. Didn't know much, but, it wasn't no problem as far as like the toughness part. So, yeah, it wasn't bad.
Chaz, I feel like you love a challenge. If a challenge is put in front of you or somebody says you cannot do something, you prove them wrong. You made the transition from being a fighter to being a producer with your movie, The Shoot. Now, why don't you explain to the listeners out there what The Shoot's about and maybe some of the ups and downs of being a producer trying to get a movie out there?
Oh, yeah. I definitely love a challenge. I love proving people, wrong and like just pretty much making the impossible possible. But The Shoot Yeah, it's pretty much about just this ex-military guy who pretty much he just leaves the army and looking for a new job, and he gets a job for his brother at a hotel in Atlanta, and they pretty much it's all about working in the shoot and how the whole operation works in that department of the laundry in the hotel. And it's a nice little like a screwball like Clerks type of comedy to it.
Who do you look up to in the producing ranks? Any names come to mind?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I was writing that one, Kevin Smith definitely popped up. I looked at the Clerks, a lot of research on that, and that's where I kind of got the idea from that. Kevin Smith, Jordan Peele, just a different variety of producers. Quentin Tarantino, like whatever. Like I kind of have a mind or like idea of a movie.
I always liked Rob Zombie. He always brought those old-time classic horror movies to the present day. I mean, some of his stuff is really gory, but on the flip side, some of his remakes have been really, really good to me. Do you have any problems filming the shoot? I mean, is there any issues or any stories you'd like to tell?
Well, no, actually, I would say the only problem about filming the shoot is that I was probably the main one that was like ready to shoot, like the film, while everyone else was kind of like a little bit kind of exhausted from working, and it was kind of a little hard to film. But it was supposed to be about a 2-week film, but it ended up being about a month and a half of filming. We grinded it out and got it out and got it finished and whatnot. Got it released, and everything started kickstarted from there for the film and the production side of the company.
There's a lot of people that you say, yeah, I want to do that. I want to be in front of the camera. I want to be an actor. And they want to post it on social media and tell everybody that there's some big kind of superstar. But when the boots hit the pavement, there's nothing there. I don't want to do all that work. On this show, a lot of people that are entrepreneurs, they have multiple jobs, but it's their passion that drives them. And your passion has led you in multiple directions. And writing a book's one of them. Why don't you talk about Louis Wright?
Oh, yeah, Louis Wright. It's a book about pretty much me and my friend. My friend, he actually kind of like kickstarted pretty much everything. This like new passion that was instilled in me, but I didn't actually know it was there until being friends with him. Unfortunately, he had passed away last year, January. It's life.
Yeah.
But the Louis Wright is pretty much about my friend's life, put together, and it just fictionalized it and swapped our different aspects of what we've been through and put it in a story. And then we made a sequel. We actually did 4, and then we were going to stop at 4. And then I started thinking, I was like, well, let's look at the Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or Star Wars. There's like 8 or 9. I was like, well, let's if we're going to do like 4, let's not stop there. Let's go like 8. And so we came up with 4 more. From beginning, middle, and end. And so we got 8 total. And
so there's one coming out in 2018.
Okay.
Two coming out in 2018. And how hard is it to get published as an author?
It's not that hard that a lot of people think. It's a two-way thing. Either get published and do most of the work yourself, or, you get published and allow someone else to do the work for you. To get published and, allow someone else to do the work for you, that's the hard part because, a lot of people get published and be an author. And so they try to go down that route and they have to deal with a lot of rejection and such. But fortunately, I was able to find someone to kind of work with me and actually get my stuff out. And Amazon has been nothing but a tremendous help.
Tell everybody where they can go get that book, Louis Wright, on Amazon.
You either go on Amazon, type in Chaz Dowdell, Louis Wright, or you can go on my website, chazdowdell.com/books, and all the books and links will be right there too. Multiple ways you can go and find the book.
Yeah, do it or I'm going to punch you in the face.
Actually, there's a lot of people think, it's like, well, he fights and whatnot, but I'm actually a cool guy.
Yeah, you are.
There's a lot of things people just don't get from me. It's like, I'm really cool.
And a lot of people don't get me either, Chaz, but I think sometimes the strange individuals that we might be, that helps us do what we do. How gratifying is it for you to be living your passion, your dreams?
It's really awesome. There's so many people that can't do what they love because pretty much the choices that they make in life. And it's like my friend, he kind of just told me, it's just, you can live your life complex or you can live it simple. And usually the ones that live a simple life can do their passion and do what they love, enjoy life at the same time. It's usually the ones that make their life really complex and the choices that they make that makes it harder for them to do what they love and do something that they kind of hate and just don't want to do. So, that's something that my friend taught me a lot. I learned a lot from him. And even though he's passed away, it's still like he's still a part of me inside, like just coming spiritually. And that's where everything is just driving out. It's just like our vision, our passion.
Chaz, you say the simple life, but really, you are rolling the dice. But, you're traveling all over, doing a lot of different things. And one that comes to mind is Wacko. Why don't you explain to all the listeners out there what Wacko is all about?
So Wacko is pretty much my new clothing line that I'm designing. It's pretty much stands for wisdom and knowledge over everything.
Nice.
And since Wacko is the definition of crazy, insane, and people look at Albert Einstein as really crazy and people are really smart, insane. So I figured having that abbreviation for each word was pretty much clicked to make Wacko.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at it and going, oh, it doesn't make sense. What is that, Waco? But no, it does make sense, and that's great. How long did it take you to put that together?
Actually, it took me about maybe a week. Me and my cousin, he actually got the little idea. He wanted to, start a clothing company, and then we was actually going to do a joint thing, which was Swank or something like that. But he wanted to do his own brand, and so when he wanted to do that, I was like, okay, that's fine. And so I figured I'd make my own brand and do something similar to it, but the same underlying message. And so I took off the S and found like definition for the W, then the A, and then the K, and it just came put it together.
Flex Zone Fanatics, this guy is just kicking it on all cylinders. He also has a cartoon, Clifford Ray's Dave the Taxi Driver. It's a real comical cartoon. Why don't you explain to the listeners what it's about and where they can go check it out?
Oh, yeah, Dave the Taxi Driver. It's going to be Dowdell Productions' YouTube little animation series. It's a nice little 2D South Park.
Right. It reminds me of South Park.
Yeah, it's real simple. It's funny. You got to be a little 18 older because it's a little graphic. But it's like a funny thing for us to implement into our little universe of the films that we have made. People can go on the YouTube, Dowdell Productions, the channel, and you'll see the first 2 pilot episodes for the first season on there. And definitely the second season will be starting April 24th next year. So
nice. So you got a comic book as well. So what's the deal with that?
Oh man, it's a brand new thing that I just came up with in July, and there's DC and Marvel as the main comic people. And there's just like no black comic book universe. And so I think I wanted to do that. And probably a week or 2 ago, I had messed around with my editing software and just was able to do something that was a lot different in a comic book setting. And I just created Charlie and Donna's Adventures and as the first issue for our newly comic book company, ZC Comics.
Nice.
And I think later on, 2018, maybe about after we get 4 issues in, we'll be probably the first black-owned universe comic book that's like DC and Marvel to ever made like a comic book universe, which I think would be really awesome to put a stamp into the history books.
Endurance, energy, strength, and focus are the 4 pillars of any great pre-workout supplement, and the team at Flex Zone is delivering them to you in their all-new pre-workout powerhouse Pre-Flex. Flex Zone Pre-Flex comes in 3 delicious flavors: Blue Raz, Green Apple, and Fruit Punch. This product is clinically tested with no proprietary blends and no artificial dyes or colors. And best of all, it's made right here in the US of A. It's time to get your pump on with Flex Zone Pre-Flex Workout Powder. And don't forget to use code STORM15 to get your 15% discount on your purchase. Flex Zone Pre-Flex and Flex Zone supplements are where it's at.
I'm Tommy Pavia, creator of the 360 Strength Trainer, and I've entered the Flex Zone.
Now, how difficult was it for you to put together Dowdell Productions? Do you have a team of people that are working with you that kind of help you out throughout this process? I know you had a couple of people working with you on the cartoon, but what about the other projects as well?
Initially, at first, it was me. I did a lot of everything. As time progressed, I got one of my newest business partners and friends, Donald Brown. I got another friend, Mike Frazier. We've been expanding a lot. I got an assistant. We got 8-man little team. So we're just constantly just building the team and whatnot. So just try to, get ready when we make the company corporate and such and branch off to other stuff. So we're just slowly building.
And it's important to have people that you trust on your corner. Did it take a long time to figure out who that was going to be? I mean, you said these are friends, so you've probably known them for a long time.
Actually, it's funny when you say that. My trust is very, very flexible. Like, I could put my trust in almost any and everyone. But the thing is with my trust is that it could take a really quick for me to say, like, okay, well, I can't work with you in that way. And a lot of people that work with me now are people that just kind of undeniably, just with me, without
Right.
like no hesitation. There's just, I have an idea and they're like, yeah, that's perfect. Let's run with it and let's go with it. And just, no questions asked. But the people that I tried to work with, they would just kind of like question everything and just feel skeptical or just wasn't daring or didn't want to take that risk, because everything's still starting out. And so now everything that's building, they want to kind of, jump on board, which, I still allow, but it's just not in the main priority areas. So the friends that I have now, actually one of them, before we started getting like fully into it, he was just like, well, you was talking about this 2 years ago and I've been with you, and it kind of dawned on me. I was like, oh, I did say that 2 years ago and he's been with me since. So we just, click like that. So
I can totally relate to that too, Chaz, because we were talking about enter the flex zone for a while. Like I said before, when rubber meets the road, you just got to do it. You just got to roll that dice and make sure it doesn't come up snake eyes. I mean, you got to figure it out. It's great when you can get the product out there or the idea out there, and whether it's good or bad, you still get an idea or you can realize, hey, this is going to work or it's just going to crap the bed. And that's a good thing when you're having your hands in a lot of different places. If something else doesn't take off like it's supposed to, you still have those remaining ideas still going. What advice can you give the listeners about putting an idea into action?
I would say whenever you have an idea, you can't be afraid. And that's a lot of things that prevents them or stops them. It's just, well, what if I do this and someone takes it? A lot of people second guess themselves, and a lot of people put a lot of fear into their idea or try to start something. And that's what psychs them out and it ends up, consuming them and not making them do it. So my thing is, if you have an idea, just go for it. Don't be afraid to fail. That's what life is. It's trial and error. You're going to succeed at something and you're going to fail at something always. You can't evade it. If you have an idea and you try it out and it fails, it doesn't mean it's the end of the idea.
Right.
It just means what can you learn from it and improve on it and keep building. Failing is just something that's meant for you to find the positive, how you can pass on that failure. You're supposed to learn from it. If you have an idea, just go for it. And if it succeeds, awesome. If it fails, figure out what can you do to improve to keep that idea alive.
And maybe like earlier on, I'll say if some of these ideas don't pan out, you want to rephrase that and say, well, look, they might not pan out from the get-go, but that's all a learning experience. I mean, if you put something out there right away and supposedly everybody loves it, then maybe something's wrong with that, because usually there's something wrong here or there that you need to tweak and you need to fix, and you got to kind of be humble. I feel like you got to be a humble entrepreneur. You got to take criticism. I mean, like you've taken a lot of heat from people that you've known with your ideas and your passions. How do you keep on pushing through with some of the negativity that's out there?
Oh, man, I used to get a lot. I mean, before I started the Dowdell Productions company and we was making our first movie, and I needed camera people or people to film. I got a lot of hate and a lot of just negativity from like people from Reddit and stuff, just saying like, oh, you're nobody, but this and that. But the thing is that when you get that critique and then like, all that negativeness, you just have to, bypass it and just find that positive and just branch off.
I think if you have no haters, you really don't have anything.
Yeah. It would be weird to have like everyone love everything and no one hate or have any type of dislike. It's just like, it doesn't feel real.
What is the entrepreneur's mindset as far as what you perceive it to be?
Like real entrepreneurs, you just keep going. You'll fail. I mean, that's part of the game, and you'll succeed. If you succeed one day, succeed for that one day, but the next day you just keep moving forward. When everything's all done, then you can look back and celebrate and enjoy everything and just see everything form out.
Which social media platforms do you use, and which, in your opinion, are the most effective?
I would say Instagram. Instagram is probably my most effective. Twitter, I hardly go on it. I post out of the blue moon. Twitter is like more of just a connect with fans and like want to talk and such. People follow me, I follow them back on Twitter because I don't really use it as much.
Right.
And Facebook, still a similar same way. I'll accept anyone friend requests. Obviously not anyone that have fake profiles or anything like that.
Right.
But Instagram, I like to follow people that actually like looking at their posts and stuff. So that's why I don't really follow everyone because the mass pictures and posts and stuff like that. Instagram I use a lot because, a picture can tell 1,000 words and such. And a lot of people love the pictures and posts that I post on Instagram. So that's why I use it more. And it's easier to connect with people on Instagram.
You have any pointers for Instagram users that are new?
Use hashtags.
Okay,
I would say that don't overdo it. Like a lot of people put like 25, 100 hashtags on a post. I like to use 4 hashtags. Some people, people to look at it and kind of like your post and, follow you and stuff like that. I would say that. So anything above 8, I would think wouldn't be as much. But if you're a brand, you're like photography, just post stuff that you do photography wise and, people, follow you and like it. Me, I'm just, everyone should know by now, I'll get a lot of likes on one picture and less likes on another because I do a lot of things. So I post a little bit different thing for every one of my followers.
Do you use any apps to keep you organized?
I actually kind of don't. A lot of it's in my head. So most of my days, pretty much, from the time I wake up, from the time I go to sleep, I'm constantly thinking. And so I don't really need like an app or something to like kind of notify me if something I'm, doing is at this such and such time. But sometimes I would, put in my notes. But as far as reminder, because I'm always in my notes. But like my calendar, I don't really use any events or anything like that on my calendar unless I actually kind of have to, I think, to do so. But mostly it's just like in my head. I have a good memory, so I don't really forget a lot.
Now, I was looking on your Facebook, right, and I saw this video, and I'm like, this looks pretty interesting. And it was a video about a robot girl, or woman, robot woman, and she was blinking her eyes, she was talking, she had a nice accent, and she really thin and looked really nice, but it was a robot. My question to you is, would you or wouldn't you?
I wouldn't. I would not get a robot girl. That's almost kind of just like going out to like a bar and just picking up a girl and just taking her home for the night. It's not real, it's temporary. So it's like I would like something that's more permanent, and I think a robot would just wouldn't last.
Wear that out. Friggin', I need some Energizer batteries in that one.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to have to kick their batteries or have to charge her up.
Or you gotta clean it.
Too much maintenance.
You gotta clean it. And I was like, would that be cheating on my wife if I brought one home? I'd be like, hey, honey, I
think it might.
So, after that, you got any closing thoughts or anything you want to tell the listeners out there?
Oh, no, I actually don't. I would just say give a shout out to Donald Brown, my business partner and good friend, Michael Frazier, Clint Hester, as always, just the loyal Chris Kenny, Chaz Dowdell, everyone that's just part of the team. It's just like keep, just building, and all the people that's listening, just enjoy life, live, love, life. It's the three words I live by, and that's just, live, love, life, and just kind of just enjoy the moment.
2018 is going to be a great year. I look forward to a lot of good things coming from you down the turnpike, and thanks for coming on. We'll have to do it again sometime soon and catch up and see what's going on. Well, guys, Brad Storm here, wrapping up another episode of Enter the Flex Zone. And Chaz Dowdell was a great interview. You can check him out on all social media platforms at cdowdell42 on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Just look him up and you can find all his great stuff that's going on. Speaking of great things, it seems like Chaz has his hands in a lot of different areas. Is that a burden, or is that going to be something that's going to be virtuous for him as he goes down the road? And he's not a guy that likes to sit still. He wants to go, he wants to be productive, and he wants to get many things accomplished. Who am I to tell him not to do that? I mean, if the guy can put out some quality work Whether it be a clothing line, whether it be comics, or film, or even fighting. If he can do those things, who am I to tell him no? And there's a lot of haters out there. There's a lot of people on social media I've seen tell Chaz that, oh no, he can't do that, or you're not going to be able to do that, or your ideas, that's not going to happen. But he's made every one of them happen. So all you listeners out there, Flex Zone fanatics, take that negative energy and turn it into positive energy for you as an entrepreneur or a fitness individual. I mean, people tell you all the time, oh, you're getting fat, or you don't have enough muscles, your six-pack is gone and you have a two-pack. Well, use that and make yourself a better person, not for them, not for anybody else, but just to prove to yourself that, hey, you might talk all this crap, you might think you know everything, but you know, when I believe in something and I want to do it and it's my passion, I'm going to get the job done. And thank you, Mr. Negative or Mrs. Negative, for telling me I can't do it. Because, hey, that's what Enter the Flex Zone's all about. Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter at BradStormVO. Look up Voices of the Storm Recording on Facebook. And guys, make sure to check out Flex Zone Supplements on Instagram at FlexZoneSups. You can also check out the website, FlexZoneSups.com. Punch in code STORM15 and you'll get 15% off your purchase. It's a no-brainer. Share Enter the Flex Zone on iTunes and on YouTube. I want you to comment, I want you to rate, like, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and share with the world. I'm Brad Storm, thanking you for entering the Flex Zone.